Welcome back to the CNR recap. I'm Griffin Aldrich. Alongside me, we got Daniel, Miguel, and Andrew, Quinn, and your Boston Celtics unfortunately lose to the Chicago Bulls on Derrick Rose jersey retirement night with a final score of 111 to 114. You guys, we are hoping, at least the NBC Sports broadcast was hoping, that it was going to be another night like last night, Ugo hitting that big three to send them into double overtime. But unfortunately, not that. The Boston Celtics do end up losing to the Chicago Bulls in a close one. These back to backs are tough. I'm gonna straight up say it, like the back to backs are tough, and it's especially tougher when you're facing better teams. But I'm gonna give the Bulls a little bit of credit right here because I think they're a solid team. Like, they have they in a sense remind me a lot like the Celtics. They have a lot of young pieces, but they're still up on the coming. I don't know. That might be crazy to you guys, but I think that's a solid thing. They don't obviously have a superstar, and they're not identical to the Celtics, but they remind me of an eager team to succeed with their young talent. But you guys know the drill. Initial thoughts. We'll start off with Daniel, go to Andrew, and back to myself. What are your initial thoughts after this loss to the Chicago Bulls?
I think I liked a lot from what I saw defensively from our team. I think it's so ironic that this time yesterday we're seeing a Hugo corner three to send the game to double OT, and then today we're losing to a corner three in the last seconds of the game. So it's kind of ironic, but um, I think I like what I saw defensively from the team. For the most part. I like that we kept Josh Giddey, one of their best players, like off the bench to coming back from an injury to just 4 points. Um, I also like what we did against some of those other guys like Kobe White, not doing much offensively against us, but I think rebounding continues to be an issue for us, especially down the stretch. Um, I think that I don't know what the solution for that could be. But yeah, rebounding, they out rebounded us by I can't remember how much, but once again we see ourselves losing that rebounding battle in this game. But on a good note, I like the amount of turnovers we had, which was the low amount of turnovers, only six for the team. And I also like the fact that we forced a lot of turnovers on them. So that's kind of a good takeaway on the game. So yeah, tough loss, which we've been saying for a while now. It seems like either tough loss or tough win. So that sucks, but we keep going.
Yeah, I agree. Tonight wasn't necessarily it wasn't like the Celtics did anything necessarily wrong. I mean, the Bulls just outshot them beyond the arc, shooting 15% better tonight. And I thought the Bulls just hit timely shots. Every time the Celtics were starting to pick up momentum and they would hit a big shot, the Bulls would respond with a three and just kind of silence that momentum and eliminate that energy. And so that's kind of what it was tonight. I think it was just the Bulls hit more shots than us than we did tonight. That sounds a little simple, but that's kind of what I saw. Obviously, if you we're going to look at the lead tracker, but you see the Bulls started off hot, finished strong, and the Celtics kind of found themselves finding momentum in this middle of the game. And you gotta find a way to start. The Bulls did it. They started the game off hot and they finished the game off hot, and that's kind of the way this game went. But overall, it's not a game that you're mad at. I think there was high energy. We created a lot of turnovers. The rebound battle was marginal, and we won in second chance points. We just couldn't hit shots tonight, and that's gonna happen, especially on a back to back when your legs are your legs are tired, and you worked really hard on a double overtime game prior. So yes, it's a frustrating loss, but I don't think you can read too much into this one. And we're going to talk more about Amari Williams, but it's nice to see Amari Williams get some minutes and get some experience in these games. And other than that, it's a loss. It happens, and you just got to find a way to build on this and come back stronger.
Yeah, let's talk about that right now really quick. You mentioned it, Andrew. Amari Williams getting the start for the Boston Celtics. I think this is a huge opportunity because, with Hugo Gonzalez, he's a player that hasn't played any time in Maine and has been doing his development strictly in Boston. But, I think for Amari Williams, this is a huge moment for him. And you guys, that's in the ticker, but right here, 2 points, 2 rebounds, a block, and shot 100% from the field goal. I thought he was very, very effective tonight and, only played 10 minutes. So I think once he gets a longer leash on him and you could see him get more minutes, I think Amari Williams is going to develop into a great talent for the Celtics team. Again, you guys check out the main report where we even talk to Amari Williams and we cover the main Celtics. And in the G League, I've seen nothing but greatness from Amari Williams. And it takes a little time to translate that over to the NBA. Like again, you're not going to do it just like that. It took Jordan Walsh a couple years to do that. Geez, it took Baylor. I mean, he's finally getting more run with the Celtics, but guys like Luke Cornett, who spent their time in the G League, guys like Sam Hauser, even like it takes them a little bit and it takes more NBA experience. So
Even
I'm
Cater as well,
yeah,
adding to the
Ada,
list of those names. Yeah.
great poll right there. Amari Williams is one of those guys, and I think getting the start tonight was big for him, and he just needs to keep getting NBA experience. The more NBA experience he gets, the more his game from the G League is going to translate to the NBA. And I don't know if you guys said this last night, but did you guys know that so I was at the game last night and he was supposed to be starting that, but I guess he took a flight right before, like 2 hours before the Celtics game and came to play. So look out for Amari Williams because this is the next guy, but we'll go around again. Daniel, Andrew, what are your thoughts on Amari Williams' performance tonight? Because again, didn't have a lot of opportunities, but I thought it was a very great game from him.
I mean, yeah, 2 blocks in 24 hours. Oh, that's a lot, really. You can't be that mad at that. About 4 points, in the same 24 hours. I like him. I like him a lot. And I said this yesterday, Griffin. If you remember the preseason conversations, I was a big Amari Williams guy, and I'm glad it's finally getting those minutes, and I'm glad Joe Mazzulla's keeping an eye on him, as a possible third string center or even a guy to be in the rotation. I did notice that with tonight, like the more minutes he got tonight means the less minutes Garza got. So I'm excited to see how Joe uses those 3 guys now in that rotation, for the big men. But
Yeah,
I'm glad Amari's now on that list alongside Keita and Garza, and I just hope he develops well.
yeah, I think seeing Amari Williams get time today, obviously super important for its development to just experience basketball at the NBA level, playing against a guy like Nikola Vucevic, who is a veteran in this league and is savvy and definitely made Amari Williams work. Amari Williams tonight definitely showed us his athleticism tonight. He just looks like he's in control of his body, knows what he's doing out there. That one block was super impressive. The way it was like a pogo stick, the way he got up and contested that shot. And that's something that Celtics have needed, right? That rim protection. I think Keita is slowly starting to figure out how to protect the rim. But when you have a guy like Garza, and at times that rim protection, it's really not there. And so to have Amari Williams as your third big man, that's been the conversation right now. He's really the Celtics' third big man. So I think right now you just continue to play big man by committee, and you just cycle through these guys. You look at matchups, you see who's playing well, and you plug and play. And right now, I think Missoula is doing a good job at that. He's understanding that, and seeing Amari Williams against the Nets and seeing him play tonight, you can tell that Joe Missoula likes Amari Williams and wants to see what he can do for this team. And so this season is, we talked about it at the beginning of this year. This season is one that is going to take, we're going to experiment. We're going to see who can fit in what positions and who can work. And this season is it's growing. This team is growing, right? You're going to have peaks, you're going to have valleys, you're going to plateau at times. It's gonna be ever changing, but as long as you peak at the moment that you want, that's important. So giving Amari Williams these minutes and just seeing what he can do is important. And I'm running on a little, but I got one more thing to say.
Oh, go.
Amari did look a little raw tonight. I still think. I think he
Oh, yeah.
still has some improvement to make. Timing with the screens, just being on the same page as everyone else, which is expected. I think at times he's sitting on that block a little too long, just going dunker to dunker spot and not actually being involved in the play. And guys like Caires, guys like Garza have an understanding of how to be involved in the play, and they're always trying to get action going. At times, Amari Williams is a little stagnant on the offensive end, but that comes with time, that comes with experience, that comes with trust with other guys, and this is just the right step in the direction for Amari Williams in his development.
No, you couldn't have said it better right there, Andrew. I agree. I think, and I was noticing that, and you summed it up in basketball terms, so I'm gonna dumb it down. But you summed it up perfectly. But I thought, I agree. When I was watching him on the offensive side of the ball, he wasn't really running in there getting a lot of rebounds, but that's just because, he has to still learn. He needs to learn how to put a body on someone. Like, he's used to doing it in the G League against, like in the G League, and this is
he's the best player in the G, one of the best big men in the G League.
He's one of the best big men in the G League. Exactly. In the NBA, you're facing guys that are just as good as you, if not better. Like, I'm gonna say it, and as of right now, Vucevic is better. He has more run on Amari Williams. There's guys on this Bulls team that are clearly better than Amari Williams as of right now until Amari Williams gets experience. So it's just like you're JV and you're challenging the varsity. That's perfect. You have to get time on you and you have to get some experience, because sooner or later he's going to be the guy that, rookies are going against, and he's going to be bullying them. So it's different. And he wasn't getting bullied around, because he's a strong guy too. I'm sure if he was getting backed in the paint, he's not letting that happen.
Yeah.
But it was just he was standing around, which yeah.
I will say I think he could have been a little more aggressive on the glass and trying to disrupt the just the glass and get offensive rebounds. You don't have to necessarily come down with the rebound, but get tip-ins, I mean, just be around in that vicinity. I thought at times he settled a little. And to me, he is physically, he's really, really strong within his body, but we're talking about men in the NBA, like grown men. And Amari Williams still he's young, and he still has room to grow, and he still has to, sophomore season obviously is going to be much better for him. But right now, just keep getting him in, find ways to grow him and cultivate him and figure out if this guy fits and is capable of being a center for this team.
Yeah, because I think that's the question. I think he does fit in the team, but again, it's giving him more run. It's implementing him. I mean, we didn't see Caires get these minutes till his third season with the Celtics or something like that,
right?
Second or third season. So Amari Williams will get the opportunity, and I'm sure he will exceed. These he will be incredible once we see him. But as of right now, it's just like he still needs to develop. But we saw flashes of greatness like last night, and I saw flashes of greatness even today. So
yeah, I was listening to I was listening to a podcast and they kept talking about, they're like, there's that pass that Amari Williams made to Pritchard late game in Nets, and I don't want to just take it verbatim. It was I think it was Noah Dazell on Sale and S and all those guys. They're like, no one makes that pass. Keita Garza does not make that pass. I mean, that's
Well,
just straight impressive.
I want to even pull up a video. It says Will, so I'm hoping it's Williams. If not, it's some other main Celtics highlight. But I want to pull up this for you guys because I believe this is Amari Williams' pass, and this just shows you how well of a passer he is. So I'm telling you, if this is not it, I am so sorry.
I don't think there's any other Will. I'm pretty sure we're in the clear.
That's what I'm guessing too. But let's watch it really quick.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Keita Garza not making those passes. And that goes to show when Williams does find himself more comfortable in that pick and roll and he gets caught in that short roll and he gets the ball there, and now you can create out of that and make the right read. He's more than capable of that. So it's just accelerating the process to get him to that point. So then we can start finding ways to succeed, because that short roll is always open.
Yeah.
Because whenever Jaylen Brown, I mean, a lot of times Jaylen Brown's in that pick and roll and they're blitzing and they're doubling that ball, and Jaylen Brown's got to give it up, or White or Simons, he's got to give it up and hit Amari Williams on that roll, and now you got options to facilitate. So if we can find a way to get Amari Williams, like, I think you have to get Amari Williams other skill sets and improve him aside from his playmaking. Yeah. But once you get those skill sets a little more improved, then you can really hone on and then his playmaking and take advantage of it.
And he'll be incredible. So
exactly
that time will come, but we could yap about Amari Williams.
Yeah, we really could.
But now I want to go over to the quarters. So we'll send it over to Daniel, and here are the quarters.
Yeah, again, another really close game, especially in that first half. The Bulls end up scoring 30 points compared to the Celtics 28. That leads us into the second half, where we also score 30 compared to the Bulls 22. We took the lead at the half, but then the third quarter, man, biggest lead in terms of quarters, like, and scoring. They scored 36 compared to our 27. And then in that third quarter, in the same quarter, they also got the largest lead of the game, which was 8 points. And then in the fourth quarter, both teams tied at 26, as you can see. The Celtics had their biggest lead in the second quarter. And as you can see by the differential, it was mostly a Bulls game, except for that middle point of the game, end of the second till the beginning of the fourth, or end of the third, like mid-third. But yeah, for the most part, it was actually a little more 50-50 now that I see it. But yeah, the Bulls end up winning this one, again, as you can see by the differential.
Yeah, and what else you could see in there is the 26 lead changes, showing you, as Daniel mentioned, how close this game was. So for both teams, I mean, an incredible night. And again, I want to go over a couple stats really quick. Daniel, I think, mentioned the turnovers earlier, 6 turnovers for the Celtics when the Bulls had 15. So just limiting those turnovers is huge. And you guys already mentioned it, getting out rebound, which we don't see that often. The Bulls had 44 rebounds opposed to 28, and then shot 31. Whoa. I was like, am I looking at that right? That was the 3-point percentage. But shot 44.4% from the field goal tonight, and the Bulls shot 50.6. So the Bulls just shot the lights out, and the Celtics did not do that tonight. But Andrew, if you wanted to go over the Bulls points for everyone.
Yeah, I can run through that. So just give me 1 second. All right, so Isaiah Okoro had 12 points, 2 blocks, and 2 rebounds tonight. He played pretty well for them, not too bad. And He's a strong defensive guy, so I like them. Smith, 14 points, 9 rebounds. Vucevic, 16 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. He continues to impress me. Whenever I watch him, he just makes all the right decisions and can and really space the floor out for them. Buzelli's 14, 5, and 8. Thank God he didn't get that dunk. That was close, but he got stuffed by the rim, so took off a little too early. Kobe White tonight, 22 points, 7 assists, 1 rebound. Tonight, Kobe White, it just seemed like he was hitting shots when the Bulls needed to him. It was just timely, like tough step backs, just like kind of like daggers to the Celtics when they were finding their momentum. Kevin Huerter, 12 points, 6 rebounds, and obviously a huge corner 3 to seal the game. Dosumu, 10 points. Griffin, you're high on this guy. 2 rebounds. Giddey, minutes restriction tonight, so not as much. 4 points, 5 turnovers for him, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists. So 10 to 5 turnover. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good ratio. And then Patrick Williams finally 10 points with 1 rebound and 0 assists. Man, Patrick Williams, high draft pick. They were talking about it a lot. Not really panning out for the Bulls. It's unfortunate because he has flashes of greatness, but not doing it for them. But that's all I got for the Bulls overall. I mean, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in double digits tonight. So they all contributed as a team, as a collective, which is something that I'm sure the Bulls are happy about. And that's always impressive to see.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Bulls stats, but Shireman tonight, another main guy, as we've been talking about, Amari Williams all night, had 2 points, 3 rebounds. Was kind of quiet tonight, only played 6 minutes, so not really much. We gave you guys a breakdown on Amari Williams, so I'm not even I'm gonna mention him again. We love our main guy. 2 points, 2 rebounds, a block, and shot 100%. You know, I can't leave him out once again. But Uga Gonzalez, 3 points and a rebound, 2 steals. Luka Garza, you guys already mentioned too. Daniel and Andrew mentioned, tonight, 3 points, shot 100%, 2 steals and a rebound. Again, this young guy, 2 CNR MVPs on the season already. Wow, he's insane.
Griffin, you talk about a young guy. He's the same age as you.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that wild?
We're the ones that got to call him young guy.
Yeah.
But no, just play.
Love it. But Luka Garza, yeah, tonight, I think I'm gonna credit his game being short because it looked like he rolled his ankle at one point, so it looked like he was like kind of hobbling out there.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He was a little step slow tonight.
Yeah, not
finding his rhythm, but just not all there. And for a guy like Garza who runs so much, it's like, man, that's a tough one.
Yeah, so his game was cut short tonight. 1 block though, assist, 2 rebounds, and 4 points. Only played 14 minutes because I think he was visibly shaken up out there. Jordan Walsh, 7 points tonight. It felt like a kind of quiet 7 points, a rebound, shot 60%. He's been like, again, he'll have a game where he's very loud, but tonight wasn't so loud. But that's a guy where you could rely on him every once in a while. I don't know. He's been up and down. I feel like that's where I'm at.
That's honest. We've talked about it. That's the story of this whole team.
It is.
Daniel, I think, talks about it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. The consistency of this team is nowhere near where we'd want it to be, especially for most of these guys. Yeah, definitely.
But what's nice about this team though is the depth that we have. I mean, this bench is always finding ways to put the ball in the hoop, and it's like next man mentality where, hey, Walsh isn't playing amazing tonight, but Hugo's gonna play amazing tonight, and Simons is gonna play amazing tonight.
Hauser,
so these guys are always contributing and finding ways to help this team, and it's a testament to Joe knowing, seeing who has the hot hand and giving them more minutes
Yeah, I think
here and there.
he pulls the guys out at the right time. Like, if
He
someone's
does.
not doing well, he's gonna put someone else in who's maybe doing better. But yeah, I think what you mentioned, Andrew, from the Bulls team, like those 8 players, all in double digits. I think like like that's a dream, for the Celtics to have. You have all these names of guys that can put up, put up like double-digit points. You have obviously the 5 starters, and then on the bench, Walsh, Sharman, Hugo, Omar Williams now, and Garza. It's a list of guys that on the bench could put up like double-digit points consecutively, but yeah, it doesn't happen. But what does happen is, it's kind of like an on and off thing with some of these guys, which you need some nights. You need some guys more than the others, depending on the game. And I think I think the guys step up at the right time when they need to. Like
Exactly.
Hugo last night is a great example.
Yeah. No, I agree with you guys 100%. That's been the melody of the Celtics this year. That's really been what they like to do. You have a
But
guy.
I
Yeah,
will say that that's good regular season, right?
but playoffs,
That's playoffs,
it's
inconsistency, not knowing who you can trust late down in the
Yeah,
stretch,
yeah,
that's
and
well,
not knowing kind of not
it,
finding a rhythm. That
it's
can
gonna
be
hurt
at
us.
times that could hurt us because
and that
Yeah,
and
you're bound to cut your rotation shorter, and so I don't know. Maybe Joe doesn't, but obviously we're looking really far in the future. But I still would like to see some guys find a way to be a little more consistent uh,
I agree.
throughout the game.
yeah, that'll be a pre-playoff discussion because you nailed it right there, Andrew. You nailed it. Namias Keita, though, they talked about him being sick yesterday, and that's why Amari Williams got the call last night. But Joe's still going to him tonight, and he went to him early. Amari Williams played. Luca looked like he hurt himself. And then he threw Namias Keita out there, played 24 minutes, had 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. So for a Michael Jordan flu game at the Bulls place, I think that was pretty efficient night. can't
Yeah,
can't
not bad, not bad.
can't hate on it. It's obviously not the MJ numbers he put up there, but it's something. Pritchard, not the all-star performance he had last night, but he had good numbers all the way around. 10 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, shot 40%. And then Hauser tonight, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and shot 42.9%. One thing I love from Hauser more is how much better he's gotten on defense. And I'm going to say the same for Anthony Simons, who I think had a very efficient night tonight as well. And this is the Anthony Simons that we love to see and we were so high on. Was 21 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Again, another 2 steals. So those, geez, right there, we have 2 steals from Ugo, 2 steals from Hauser, and 2 steals from Simons. That's 6 steals right there. And the Celtics had a total of 6, 7, as David would like to say. Shout out David.
Tread lightly, tread lightly.
Eight, they had 8 steals though. I mean tonight, like Daniel's right. Their defense was to a key tonight.
And that's something to be super happy about
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there are going to be nights where you just don't hit shots. They typically shoot 37% from behind the arc. They shot 31 compared
0.9.
to a Bulls who shot an abnormal 44% from behind the arc, right? So that's tough. That's something that just happens in the flow of an NBA season, and I think you can leave this game, in my opinion, pretty happy with the effort that you got, and
Yeah.
that's all you can ask for. So, yes, this is a tough loss, but
There were
it
some
could have
good
been a lot
things too.
worse.
There
There's
was
a good thing to
yeah.
pull from this.
Yeah.
Credit to the
100%.
defense, definitely, because those steals put up half of their turnovers. They contribute to half of the Bulls' turnovers. So that's you can't ask for much more from on the defensive side from the team. If things aren't
Agreed.
clicking offensively, like you said, Andrew, I'm glad we can then turn around after missing a shot and then go play a good sequence of defense and maybe get a steal and get back on the offensive side.
Yeah, well said, you guys. But again, going back to it, like I said, I love Anthony Simon's minutes tonight and how effective he was. But also Derrick White, I think, had a very positive night as well. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, a steal, and a block. That's the kind of night you want from Derrick White. His shooting was down though, 27.8, but still a very efficient night.
Really big fourth quarter from him. I think he
Oh,
had like 10 points in that fourth. Yeah, 10 points in that fourth quarter, which was really big. I didn't expect him to have that kind of night after the first three quarters, but he picked it up.
you said it right there, Daniel. I thought he was dormant, but he picked it up in that fourth.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately this would have been our CNR MVP had we win. And it sucks because it's like the one night that we decide, all right, Jaylen Brown, we've been giving you it a lot. I think this is the one night where we're like, all right, we're kind of leaning our heads more towards Jaylen Brown, but 33 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and a block, shot 50%. He's unreal, you guys. I'm not even going to get into it. And let's save this conversation because if you guys want to hear about us talking about Jaylen Brown and how much he's carrying this team, just go to any of our recaps and we talk about it constantly because just how effective he is. But again, you guys mentioned it. A lot of things that there were to harp on, but again, you can't. Every night isn't perfect in the NBA. But do you guys have any final thoughts? We'll go Daniel, Andrew, and back to myself before we close out.
Oh, sorry, Daniel, you go first. My bad.
It's all good. I wanted to mention it. It's whatever. But yeah, not much that hasn't been mentioned already. Again, really good defense being played by the team tonight. Um, off, not awful, but bad offensive night for the team. But back to back, only lost by one against a really promising, I'd say was the word you'd use. I don't know. A really good Bulls team from time to time. It's not like the Nets where like you expect them to win that game. The Bulls, I'd say, are much more of a challenge compared to the Nets. So this wasn't a bad loss at all. Not really mad about it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I mean, I think I touched upon it a little earlier. This is a game that, yeah, some things didn't necessarily go our way, and we didn't ultimately get the win. But coming off a back-to-back double OT, your legs are just not there, and you're just not hitting shots. Queta also sick. Garza with the little ankle sprain. Hopefully he's all right. I will say, nice to see Jaylen Brown okay. In his press conference, he was talking, and he said that he was having a little hamstring tightness. He said it was nothing to worry about, but obviously still nice to see that he is okay because we know he's dealt with that hamstring injury in the past, right? So
Yeah.
very nice to see that he's okay, and he bounced back very nicely tonight and looked like he didn't lose a step. So that's another positive to take away from this.
I think since it was mentioned, don't be surprised, guys, if he sits one of these next games in terms of like rest and whatnot. So hopefully the other guys can step up whenever that happens.
Yeah, agreed. Considering the fact that this homestand is pretty, the way we're playing right now, I don't know, but we should ideally be winning these next 3 games in a semi-convincing fashion.
No, well said, you guys. I think you guys summed it up in great analyzation with you, Andrew, and Daniel about Jaylen Brown. I wouldn't be shocked if he is on that IL list because again, injured list. Sorry, yeah. But you just want to play it safe. You obviously want to play it safe, but again, disappointing one. I wish we could have got it, but again, every night isn't going to be your night, and this Celtics team has exceeded expectations all year long, so we can't kill them for one night. So, but
hey, before you close it out, I do have something that not Celtics information, but is still pretty important as of right now. So I'm gonna throw it up on the screen as something to show you guys. Good news. According to Ian Rappaport, we're going Patriots talk. We haven't done this all year, but the Patriots are activating Matt Collins back up to the roster. He was injured for a little, and Matt Collins is now back on the roster, and that just gives the Patriots another wide receiving threat tomorrow against the Broncos. And not to mention, I think Matt Collins is a great wide receiver, but I also think he's just a good presence, a good guy to have on the field, can block and all that. So it's exciting to see him back, and hopefully he can just bring some energy. Not playing a while, you're gonna come out with a little more spark, a little more edge to you than you would per se while you're playing this game. So very cool to see that he's coming back. What do you guys got? We want predictions?
Yeah,
Patriots predictions.
Let's do it. You guys, this is what I'm going with. I said this all over, but I really haven't watched football. I played football in high school, and then I never was really into it. Obviously, I'm a Patriots fan because of my ties with New England, but I've really got into it this year. So let's go Pats. What's your prediction though, Andrew? Start us off.
I'm gonna go Pats. I'm gonna say they're gonna win. Unbiased. I've actually been watching a lot of Pat McAfee. I've been home doing work, throwing Pat McAfee on the background, and I feel like I've actually been catching up. I feel like I'm learning. But I'm gonna go Pats. Denver's gonna be a tough environment. We haven't beat them in a long time when we go up there. But I'm gonna go Pats, and I think it's gonna be a closer game though than you think, because I think Jarrett Stidham and Sean Payton, they're gonna find a way to utilize him and play it safe, and then the Broncos defense on the other side, number one, I think, or two over there. So a little scary, but I'm gonna go Patriots, but it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna, I don't know, maybe win by a touchdown, if so.
Daniel, who you got?
Yeah, I'm not really. I think this was my first year, like kind of tapping into the Patriots. I'm not a Patriots fan. Just thought I'd fit that out there. I'm unfortunately a Bengals fan.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Joey
I
B,
don't know,
man. Poor Joey
Yeah.
B. I feel bad for you, man.
I know.
he's
Season
a
after
big-
season, man. Season after season, it
season,
just
man.
just keeps happening.
God bless him, man. God bless
But
him.
yeah, this year,
He's the unbiased right here.
yeah, I am unbiased. Just tapped into the Patriots football this season. And I think it's a good thing Mike Collins is back because we're gonna need all hands on deck for this one. We have some really good guys on. I mean, no, I keep saying we. The Patriots have some really good guys on. I mean, I guess I'm a Pats fan now. You know what? Yeah. For now, for the playoffs, I'm a Pats fan.
Oh, yeah. Join when they're on a run. Join
Call me a bandwagon. I don't care. Yeah, sure.
Join when Drake May is just slinging the football.
Right, I'm a bandwagon. Whatever. But yeah, I think Demario Douglas. You have Keyshawn Boutte. You have two really good running backs, and you still have Diggs as well, who's a really experienced receiver. So I think adding Matt Collins to that list of like just hands is really important for this one because we're gonna need those extra hands. I think Stidham playing is like it's kind of 50-50, because it's not Bo Nix, but at the same time, like with Sean Payton, like you don't and the defense, like you said, Andrew, you don't know what's gonna happen with this Broncos game. But I think it's gonna be Pats. I think it's gonna be Pats winning, but yeah, it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna end as a one-score game to the Patriots. I think that's how close it's gonna be.
Look, I've heard this though. I've heard this, and like I said it as well because that's kind of what I've heard. I know Sean Payton is a phenomenal coach, and he X and O's everything about him. He's a good coach, but I've heard it every single time. The other side, the other argument for the Broncos winning is, well, Sean Payton and Jarrett Stidham. Well, we'll see. Sean Payton's going to do something for Jarrett Stidham, and Sean Payton's going to just pick apart this Patriots, and he's going to have this scheme and all that. But guess what? Sean Payton isn't on the field. Sean Payton is not on.
You're right.
And Stidham hasn't played a snap in like what 3 years or 2 years or something like that. So it's gonna be a tough one.
Like Sean Payton is not lacing up the cleats. He can do everything he wants, but Stidham is the guy that needs to win this game. So you could throw Sean Payton in the conversation all you want. But when it comes down to it, it's all. I hope Jared Stidham's listening, and I kind of feel like an ass, but it's all on his shoulders. It's all on his shoulders. No, just kidding.
Well,
And
well,
the defense, and the defense, and the defense.
well,
Defense as well, yeah.
well, go Patriots. Go. I got Patriots winning by 2 touchdowns.
Two touchdowns.
Oh,
Okay.
But
not bad.
I want to think about this. David's obviously a Patriots fan. Like, you see his profile picture. He's definitely a Patriots fan.
Oh, 100%.
So it's you, me, David. I'm unsure about Carl, but I know Tommy, isn't he a Jets fan?
Yeah, he is a Jets fan, so poor guy. We should throw out.
I'm so glad.
You know what? Griffin, I have a good idea. We're gonna throw out tomorrow. Let's make some graphics and let's throw out our Patriots predictions. Let's throw them out.
I'm so glad I'm not the worst. Like I'm not a fan of the worst team in the NFL. I'm glad.
Tommy
trumps
cursed.
me.
Tommy is cursed.
At least we made it to the Super Bowl once. At least we have that to kind of brag about.
Thank God he's not on here because I would be chirping him. I'd be chirping him.
Tommy, if you're listening, man, Andrew's coming for you. Andrew's coming for you.
I mean, it's not. There's nothing. I mean, he knows. He knows. I don't even have to say much. I don't have to say much at all.
But you said it, Andrew. I mean,
Matt Collins, baby, red gloves. Fun fact: Bill Belichick. Good thing he's not. Matt Collins isn't playing for Bill Belichick because he hates those red gloves.
Really?
You know why? Because when you grab onto a player, the refs can see him a lot easier than like white gloves or gloves that match the color of the team. So that's the level of sicko that Bill Belichick has. And also, if Joe Mazzulla was coaching, that's the level of sicko he'd have too. So
yeah, definitely.
They're on the same page.
You're right on that one. But with that being said, you guys, go Patriots. Go Patriots. That's the
Go Patriots. Stay safe in the snow too. Stay safe. Stay safe.
Tongue twister.
It's a little cold. Maybe it's very cold.
Stay warm, guys.
Warm, guys. Yeah, some snow coming. I hear they're getting 2 feet and shout out Evans Boston's. I was talking to him at the main Celtics. He said the Boston people are panicking, man. So stay safe there. 2 feet. He's chirping
the Bostonians.
No, he said they're panicking. 2 feet.
Oh, okay.
2 feet down.
Yeah.
So stay safe. Stay safe, you guys. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications every time we upload. And again, check out our recent podcast episode 84. And with that being said, you guys, we will see you guys with the next one. Peace, guys.
Peace.